This next question was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Lenny. Hope you and yours are doing well during this most crazy time we are living in.
How do you know how mine are doing?
I wanted to share this short clip of the disclaimer TSN is playing at the start of the broadcast and coming back from each commercial break on TSN here in Canada. I thought you would get a kick out of it, and I have a clip here.
TSN is kind of the Canadian equivalent of ESPN here in this country. Is that correct?
I believe so. So this is the disclaimer that's being played on AEW Wrestling at the beginning of the show and coming back from, according to this email, every single commercial break. Here it is.
This program may contain coarse language and scenes of violence that could be disturbing to some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Do they actually think that any of that violence on the AEW program is, if simulated or not, is so realistic as to be disturbing or so phony as to be ridiculous?
I'm not sure. I mean, it is
the coarse language. I get why do they have like a shit limit? Because I noticed they can say shit. Now, we could never say shit on USA back in the Attitude Era. You couldn't say shit, but now they can say shit on TNT. Is shit another thing you're going to have to be bleeping? Or can we get by with this?
I think we can get by with it as long as you don't go on a
because they can say it on TNT. As long as there's not a shit, they probably, because they get like 2 or 3 shits, right?
Well, clearly anything could get on TNT.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying? They probably got a quota. They can get by with 2 or 3 shits, but 4 shits would be a shit too far. But they have to do that every week. It's to look even more low rent. And here I'm cussing up a blue streak, and you're upset but we're on a fucking podcast, and if you're listening to this, you know what you're getting, folks. But again, for a basic cable mainstream program, if shit drew them any ratings or any money, or even was special, if they kept it for a big deal, but they started saying shit pretty much right out at the beginning, didn't they? And you know, son of a bitch, I guess, is okay too now. But they got to be edgy. They got to be edgy. You know, all the kids that fucking watch either the kids or whether a kids chronologically or kids psychologically, they're playing all the video games. There's profanity in the video games, from what I understand. They're watching all the porn. That's how they get all their action. Well, people cuss in porn. So unless you can come, that's why I never got the idea of why they had all the girls stripping down as far as they could during the Attitude Era. Because if I'm wanting to see naked women, you can watch porn, and then you get everything. And then all the questions are answered, and nothing's covered up. So why do I want to see 3/4 naked women on a wrestling show that aren't even sucking any, you know what, when I can watch porn to see the women? I want to watch wrestling to see the wrestling and the wrestlers. So they don't have to, unless they could go all the way at AEW, what we do here on the podcast, and just say, well, just fuckity McFuck. Then why do it at all? Shit's not going to sell you any tickets.
You're focusing on the coarse language. It was also about scenes of violence.
Well, I haven't seen any scenes of violence except the stuff they do accidentally when they really hurt each other when they're not trying to. But all of their simulated violence doesn't look too violent. It looks like fucking gymnastics. It looks like, have you seen the one with the fucking Pizzeria Uno and his tumbling partner do, where they do the fucking foot up thing? Here, I'll put my hands together, put your foot in it, and I'll spring you up into a backflip. They're male cheerleaders. There's no real simulated violence. It's only when they screw up, and like when Sammy Guevara almost killed Matt Hardy. And then you can't really tell when that's real, because as soon as they get up and blunder their way through the rest of the match instead of stopping it. So I don't know about that. I think they should put on a disclaimer that says something to the effect of, warning, this program if you're over the age of 12, will make you mentally stupider when you watch it. Viewer discretion is advised.